everybody. This is Mandi Rodriguez with Mandi on the Streets in the studio. And I am here with Kelly Nalavaya. And Kelly is one of the admins of the El Dorado County Recall Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Yes. And so we have lots of questions for you. First of all, we have this very angry mama bear.
She's very mad.
Upset. She's mad.
She's mad.
So why is she mad?
She is mad. She's been mad for a long time. You know, this is our third and final round with this. So she's been mad by a long time. But she is extremely mad today as a mama bear because she wants her kids to go to school.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is the third recall we have done since Gavin has been in office.
For some of us, this feels like an eternity.
Yes.
But, you know, just like with Gray Davis, third time's a charm. We're getting it done.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
Okay. So where are we at numbers-wise with the recall?
We are officially at receiving 1.4 million signatures.
Wow. And how many do we need?
Technically, we need 1,495,000
Okay. Okay.
validated. And that's really important for us to talk about.
Okay.
What does that mean? Validated signatures.
Okay. So what does validated signatures mean?
So what does validated signatures mean? Well, what that means is when people are signing their recall petitions, the Secretary of State, who unfortunately is not necessarily one of our allies, is going to be looking for a certain regularity. We need to, for example, make sure that only one sheet encompasses one county. So, for example, if I signed and I'm from El Dorado County and I had my girlfriend who's in Folsom sign on the same ballot, they would be disqualified.
Both of those signatures?
Both of those signatures would be disqualified. If I'm not a registered voter, and maybe I forgot that I wasn't a registered voter, or maybe I'm just turning 18 and I didn't register to vote, but I was excited to sign the petition, unfortunately, that would invalidate.
Okay.
The other one is really housekeeping. Little things like they do need to be able to read the legibility of your signature. When it says print name, I always remind people, go back to kindergarten.
Right?
Remember that good old block printing?
Yes.
And your kindergarten teacher made
one little letter per slash.
Make that kindergarten teacher proud.
Okay.
Because they have to have something to be able to verify, is this the person's signature? Is this the person's address? Is this the person's city? That they're registered to vote. If they can't type in the name from the print section, guess what?
Invalidates. Okay. And then, of course, you have to sign it. And then I was also told you cannot abbreviate. So if you're in El Dorado Hills,
that is a really
you can't put P-ville.
That's become a very explosive topic to the point of a little bit of hysteria. So I'll clear this up. You can certainly, for example, say I live on Smith ST Street.
Okay.
When we say no abbreviations, it really is focusing on your resident city.
Okay.
So those of us in El Dorado Hills cannot put EDH.
Okay. So if we're in Placerville, we can't put P-ville.
You can't be from P-ville. You can't be from LA.
Okay.
You need to write it out fully El Dorado Hills, Cameron Park.
Okay.
Our county especially has a lot of those good ones that people like to or get accustomed to abbreviating.
Got it.
And because we assume by the zip code, they're going to, identify the city. So it's really, really important.
You have one sheet.
Yes.
So let's say I go to recallgavin2020.com. I can print out this sheet. It's updated, right?
Yes.
It says 2021.
It's updated to 2021.
And there's 5 spots for a signature. So all 5, like if you get all your neighbors on the street, that sheet's good as long as it's
absolutely everybody's from the same. Everybody's from the same county.
Okay.
Everybody's a registered voter.
Okay.
And everybody, like I like to say, I don't know if our viewers can see this. I always just tell people, stay in your lane.
Stay in the lines.
If you stay in your lines and stay in your lane, you're good. If you have one of those Hollywood aspiring signatures where you're just loop-de-doopy and, you know, all of that, tone it down,
Okay.
keep it in the box, keep it in your lane. You'll be good.
Okay, so if Aunt Ida comes to visit from LA, Los Angeles, you just print out a new sheet and say, Aunt Ida,
you go.
fill this out and I'll send it in for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And do you have to have this filled with 5 signatures? No.
Just one is fine?
One is fine.
Okay. Okay.
One is fine.
Okay.
The most important thing is, though, step 2, if you're going to do self-service petition, is at the very bottom, there is what's called a certifying space.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So this is basically the person that witnesses, and you can witness yourself.
Okay.
The person who witnesses the signing, once all is filled out, fills out this bottom. It's very, again, just fill in what it says. If it says name, you write your name. It'll say a spot for your address. You write your address, you put the date, you put your county again, and you sign at the bottom.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
crucial because that would be another example of something that would invalidate a whole.
If you didn't, if you got all your neighbors and you didn't do the bottom.
and
Okay.
you didn't do the bottom.
Okay.
And that would be really sad. So we don't
Okay.
want people to do that.
Okay, so we got the signatures figured out, how to sign it, send it in. All the instructions are there, right?
Online
let's-
has everything at Recall Gavin 2020. It still says 2020.com, has PDFs. It has a YouTube video, which is a 1-minute YouTube video.
Okay.
How to sign the petition.
Okay.
Very easy to watch.
So let's talk about this thing that people got in the mail right here. Okay. Tell me how this came about.
It came against more mad people.
More mad bears.
As the trajectory is growing, the exciting thing is other groups, politicians, celebrities. Some of you have caught our town hall. We have Scott Baio as a regular.
Okay.
Takes me back to my teenage days because I had
Chachi.
Tachi posters on my wall. I just said my age. James Wood.
Okay.
Kirstie Alley. We have a lot of celebrities that are on the Recall Gavin wagon.
And they're donating.
And they're donating not only
Okay.
their face, their endorsement.
Okay.
But one group, Rescue California. A lot of you probably got this in the mail.
Okay.
Came as a mailer with, on the outside it said urgent recall information. Unfortunately, a lot of people these days are nervous. You know, they get this. It's not from the normal recall with the logo, it's a whole different group. And unfortunately, there has been some people who have been cautious and thought, ugh.
Gotcha.
Tear it up. First of all, yes, they're very legitimate. They have joined our crew. Yes, they are a separate agency, and they are using it as an opportunity to recoup some costs. Why? They funded the entire campaign,
Okay.
which was sending out hundreds of thousands of these.
Wow.
And a return non-postage, but a return already ready for you envelope. So you would have gotten this and a
One of
petition.
those. Okay.
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 So if you did get this and you still have it, you are certainly more than welcome to utilize that
Okay.
to collect. Another simple thing I didn't point out is we also have the address at the bottom.
Of course. Yeah, you need the address.
Yeah, so if you do a self-signing and you just want to, on your own, fold it nicely, don't fold it into a bunch of pieces, fold it nicely and mail it to the P.O. box. It goes right directly to our, meaning the recalls, mailroom to get sorted and to get properly certified.
Okay, so what is the end date? When is the last day they can receive these ballots? Or I'm sorry, ballots, recalls.
Our goal for receiving, because if you can imagine, if you've been following this, the amount of petitions that are coming in is astronomical, which we are not complaining about. Don't get me wrong. Our goal is to really be at that goal and exceeding by March 3rd.
Okay.
Because then we still route to the independent certifier, which we can talk about, and then back to the people like myself or my co-admin for El Dorado County so that we get them to the county elections department to then get certified and then sent to the Secretary of State.
Okay. So let's say we get all the signatures and then some. They all get validated. The recall's official. What happens next?
Right. And it's amazing how
Because nobody knows.
It's amazing how many people think he's recalled. Yay! Yeah. I wish it was that simple.
Okay.
If we were to rewind in history for people who do or don't, and remember, this did happen in California successfully with Governor Gray Davis.
Okay.
And we all know who we got from that recall.
We got the Terminator.
We got the Terminator, which is okay. Because what I really want people to focus on, a lot of people are focused on who's going to be the governor. Who's going to be the governor? Listen, guys, we need to get this destructive man off of the map of politics.
Okay.
And really what we're also doing is we're not just saving California, which needs saving. We are saving a future reign, which is very, very likely to include a 2024 run for the United States presidency.
Okay.
There is a very long, plan for, as we call him.
So if Gavin gets recalled, what is the next step?
So what would happen is once we certify, which we will,
okay,
the signatures to meet the 1,495,000 is all of a sudden we're going to start hearing all sorts of chitter chatter because we will need to have a special ballot and special election.
Okay.
And it's really bizarre how it works because we will have a recall and an election at the same time.
Okay.
So what will happen is we will have a special election that the first question will be, do you vote to recall Gavin Newsom? Yes or no?
Okay.
Okay, step one.
Okay.
We're hoping everybody says yes, because question two will be vote for your candidate for governor of California.
Okay. Is it a write-in?
No.
Okay.
Well, you can. There's always a legal process. Anybody can write, anyone in.
Okay.
What's very interesting about that is anyone with a very small amount of people who sponsor them and a very small fee can run for governor. I don't know if people remember or not. Again, going back to Gray Davis, there was over 100 people who had thrown in their hat.
Okay. I think I do remember.
And some of them were interesting. Gary Coleman, if you remember Gary Coleman. We also had, the naughty magazine guy, Larry Flint. Ran for governor. And, some unknowns.
Lots of celebrities stepped up to the plate.
Lots of, and then we had some valid people like Tom McClintock.
Okay,
who is our congressperson. Devin Nunes. So there were credible people. Unlike other elections where it gets weeded down to the top contenders, where it might be between 1, 2, or 3, the top percentage wins.
So it's winner take all.
Winner take all.
Got it.
Okay. So if you can imagine, if we suddenly have 25, 35, 45, 55 people, when we really get to who deserves to win this, it gets challenging.
Yeah.
And then you end up sometimes with Arnold Schwarzenegger. We haven't heard a lot of chirping. I think that our big contenders, we're hearing toying. I heard the other day Doug Osee, if his name's familiar, former congressman, is considering a run. I believe, just in my opinion, John Cox will throw his hat in.
Okay.
Again. I've heard, and celebrity-wise, I've heard James Wood. But again, what I remind people, let's not worry about that.
Let's not worry about that. Let's get first things first.
First things
get
first.
Him recalled, and then let's see who pops up. Because there's probably people in the background just waiting to see what happens,
Absolutely.
right?
Okay. Absolutely. And then there is that time, I'm sure different committees, know, and remember people, it doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily a independent, a conservative, a Green Party, or a Democrat. All of those, affiliations or none can run. So
Got
just
it.
because we recall Gavin, could we get a Gavin clone? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so let's say this happens in our deadline is March. The special ballot goes out
In the
when?
summer.
In the summer sometime, right? And then when would that election be?
So that's what would happen.
It would just go
There's
out
no
in the summer. And that would
primary.
be,
There's nothing.
There's no
It's-
time.
There's
It'll
about
be sometime
4
in
or
the
5
summer.
months. Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
So there would be a period of course, Gavin fighting for his right to keep his, because he's going to want to be campaigning to get people to vote no.
Got it.
And then, and I imagine there'll be quite a bit of funding from his favorite unions and special interests that will
this is a
do that.
nonpartisan
Very.
effort, right? So I've seen in the news people saying like, or Gavin or some of his people saying like, oh, it's this party that's trying to really push it, but it really is a nonpartisan effort. There's people on all sides that are wanting this to happen.
I
right?
think the most humbling thing in the last definitely month is the fact that all Californians are beaten down.
Yeah.
We are the largest economy, one of the largest populations in the country. Why are we rated 47th in economic and educational and response to COVID? We're supposed to be the innovators. We are supposed to be the examples coming forward.
Yeah.
Yet our businesses are closing.
They're leaving.
They're leaving. Our children are suffering drastically from everything from physical reactions to being shut in and losing from academic. They are losing, somebody said that at this point they could be now behind 1 to 2 years, depending on their demographics. Because we have to remember, children who are in socioeconomics areas where they rely on school,
Yes.
don't always have parents or the resources to hire tutors or the resources to combine with other parents. Those children are drastically losing their motivation for education because they're just left alone.
Really, the kids that are most at risk are the most affected by not being in school. They're not getting meals. They're not getting that interaction with adults where those adults, teachers or counselors might see abuse or things going on in the home that they're stuck at home. So they're the people that are affected the most are really the
children
highest
and
risk.
our lower our like I said, our lower economic children, our minorities. I read a recent report regarding the fact also that our children aren't in extracurricular activities. Football's been suspended, basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, anything like that. And at this point, they have over 1,000 young men in football programs who have now disqualified themselves because they have checked out of their academics. Their grades have dropped. They've stopped being motivated to work out. Of those, they are showing gang participation up, teenage pregnancy is up, violence in the home is up, and child abuse is up. And these are the people that Gavin is supposed to be protecting. And it's just so heartbreaking because for a lot of these children, their coaches, their teachers, they are their stable parent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's where they learn responsibility. That's where they learn trust. That's where they learn to be held accountable. And it's been completely stripped away from them for no scientific basis, except for the fact that the CTA, California Teachers Association, has said so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of other things too. I mean, we could talk about the homeless issue. There's a lot of reasons that people want him recalled.
Well, when you start seeing the explosion of recall events in places like San Diego, Beverly Hills, Riverside, Hollywood, even San Francisco, as much as we don't want to give them a whole lot of credit for supporting something like this, the sprawl of the epidemics between drugs, homelessness, crime is absolutely unfounded.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you've got Gavin Newsom saying, well, I'm going to add fuel to that fire. I am going to release dangerous criminals from prison systems. I'm going to reduce my police force. I'm going to reduce regulations on what people can and cannot do to keep their communities safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
insane.
It's very out of touch with his people.
Very much.
It's very out of touch.
And it's very easy, as people will say, when you're behind the gated comfort of your own home and your children go to an exclusive private school.
Yeah, because his kids have been in school since the beginning of the school season, right?
Private schools
in person
were given waivers that they could make their own individual choices, and many of them have made that choice that yes, the children will return to school. Of course, they're taking some safety
and
precautions. They're fine. But yes, his children have traveled outside of state for sports, and they've vacationed in Hawaii. They've gone to Montana. They were spot shopping in several places early in the pandemic when we were all supposed to be sitting home with, nothing but, our Netflix and and our masks. So the hypocrisy, again, is not partisan.
Yeah, it's not
You
fair.
don't have to be a political affiliation to say, wait a minute.
Yeah. If you did these things and you stuck by it, but the fact that you're going out and you're going to French Laundry and you're doing these things and then you're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. It's kind of like, I think we're done.
Well, it makes it this aristocratic behavior that he's a king or an emperor, which he's kind of been nicknamed recently, from being a governor elected to represent the people. And thankfully, it has been to the recall's benefit because it has got people out there now more than ever saying, what can I do?
Yes. So that will lead us to our final question is if somebody wants to set up a booth or do something like that, is that anybody can do that?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
So in El Dorado County, even if you're outside of El Dorado County, every recall jurisdiction, which is by county, has an individual Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook, you can again go to recallgavin2020.com to get a list of the counties and people you can call. I do recommend get in touch with somebody before you just go
and do your own booth. Maybe go sit in someone else's booth with them.
Yes,
shadow them.
Exactly. One is we might be able to just set you up to help somebody because I know in El Dorado County we've got a 30 for 30 plan. We've got pretty much every day now until March 3rd. Locations between Placerville, Tahoe, and El Dorado Hills and Cameron Park.
Awesome.
So you should be able to find somewhere.
So are there any main recall places that are always open?
Good question. Yes.
Okay.
In our county, number one place I recommend is the El Dorado County Republican headquarters on Cameron Park Drive. I think it's 3841 Cameron Park Drive. They have petitions available for walk-in and drop-in between 10 and 3.
Monday through Friday, right?
Well, Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday.
As for other places, if you go to the website or to the Facebook page again, we have a tab that says locations. It will let you know. A lot of them around our areas are the gun shops because, again, Gavin is also going after our Second Amendment rights and our protection of our sheriff's jurisdiction. He'd like to remove the individual county's elected sheriff's role in managing law and order. and replace that with just somebody who's a staff type associate instead of an actual sheriff.
Okay. Like a social worker?
Yeah, like a social worker.
Okay.
And so...
So, but they can find all the information, where to go. Like, okay, this weekend we're going to go to... Because I've seen them at, even though it's not in our county, I've seen them at like Chick-fil-A in that area off of Bidwell. So they can just go to this website. Center. We're going to go do some stuff this weekend, and let's just go to the website and see where the closest place is and sign up. Boom.
Absolutely. The main thing is everyone needs to do it. Our goal, our ideal goal is we'd like to hit 2 million.
Okay. I think it could happen.
I think it could happen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I mean, just because you've had 100,000 just in 1 week, that's insane. Insane. So thank you so much for coming on.
That was awesome.
And we just can't wait to see what happens.
We will update.
Yes, we'll have you on for an update.
We will. Awesome. When we announce that we're going to be on the ballot, that will be. So don't stop now. We're going to need everybody's help for round 2.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, that wraps it up for Mandi on the Streets in the studio, and we will see you next time.